Hi there. No, I do not own a pink guitar. I did not just buy a pink guitar. One of my students brought this to me to fix. Apparently, they just bought it online and it had a popped string, and they asked me if I could fix it for them. So I changed the strings and did a couple of things to it. So I'd like to spend a few minutes to talk about buying very inexpensive guitars online, specifically places like Amazon or eBay. Should you not? Yay or nay? Yes or no? Um, the first yes, the first thumbs up I would give this type of purchase would be, I would say yes, you can buy this if you buy it for non-musical purposes, such as decoration. I'm not kidding. If you buy this to put on your wall, to decorate your living room, your kids' room, it's just fine. Um, these go for about 35, 38-ish dollars on places like Amazon and eBay, new. And yeah, if you buy it for decoration purposes, if you buy it as a toy for a toddler, if it's for any kind of non-musical purpose, I would say go ahead and buy it. You'll be fine. Um, I would also give it a thumbs up, a yes, if the buyer has very good feedback on that platform, Amazon or eBay, but also especially if the seller has a very good return policy. Now you're looking for a seller that will not only accept any return, no questions asked, but you're also looking for a seller that will pay for you to return the item. Because see what happens very often, you buy something online and you get free shipping, but if there's something wrong with the instrument or with the item, the seller will say, yeah, you can return it, but just return it at your own cost. And if you spent $38 for this guitar, for this toy really, and you try to send it back, it'll cost you around $25 to send this back, maybe even more depending with which carrier you send it back. So then what most buyers will do, they will just forget the whole thing and either throw it out and keep it for decoration and not return it, not spend the $25 to return it. So you're looking for a seller that not only has a very good feedback on that selling platform, but also a seller that will allow you to send it back at their cost. Amazon is really good at that. If you use Amazon Prime, for example, not only do you get free shipping for getting the item on your doorstep, but it will also allow you to send it back at no cost to you. They will email you a shipping label that you can place on the box and just take it to a post office or wherever. Now you can do it at Kohl's and places like that. It's really convenient. Now that's probably all the yeses, all the thumbs up that I can give to a purchase like this. If you buy it for non-musical purposes, or if you find a seller that has very good feedback and an unconditional paid for return or exchange, and the rest is just no, just thumbs down. Do not buy this guitar if you buy it for musical purposes. If your intention is for the person you buy it for to actually learn how to play, do not buy this guitar. Thumbs down on that. No, don't do it. Also, if you buy this guitar for the long run, for a year, 2 years, 3 years, not only is this a 3/4 size, so the child will soon outgrow it, and that's usually normal. It's not a problem. People do that all the time, but it just won't last. This guitar will not last for a long time. So if you buy it for musical purposes, no, don't do it. If you buy it for long term, nope, no, don't do it. Also, if your child's gonna go and take lessons at a music studio, I would say nope, don't buy it, because if that's a good teacher, if that's a serious teacher, they will most likely say, this is not good for your child. This is a toy. This is not going to work well for you in the long run. So what's the problem with a guitar like this? Why do I think that you should not invest any kind of money for a guitar like this if you buy it for musical purposes? Well, first of all, there's all kinds of cosmetic imperfections. Now, maybe you don't care about that, and that's fine, but a child might. So there's all kinds of scratches and mini cracks and leftover glue at the joints, and imperfections at the joint there, where the fingerboard meets the top of the guitar, and little nicks and dents from the factory, little places where they missed the paint. So cosmetic issues all over the place. But let's say that you don't care about that. There's structural issues throughout these guitars. I would say that about 90% out of 100, these guitars will have problems. If you were to play 100 of these, 90 to 95 of them would have some kind of major problem. So structural issues always, simply because the wood, mainly the solid wood in the neck here, is very inexpensive, very cheap, and that cracks very easily. And tuners are very bad, but that's not an issue. If they turn, that's fine. But mainly here at this joint, it's going to crack, and especially here, the bridge in the back. Now, I don't know if that shows in the video. See, they also string these with steel strings, which is awful, because not only, that's kind of bad for beginners anyways, but aside from that, steel strings apply more pressure on the bridge and on the neck, and because they're heavier. So nylon strings don't apply as much pressure, so that's why you never put steel strings on a classical guitar, as a side note. But this is not a classical guitar, but this is a very flimsy, weak guitar, so you should not put steel strings on a guitar like this. It does come with steel strings originally, so what I did for this girl, I took those off and I replaced them with nylon strings. These are nylon strings, they're Fenders. Did her a little favor there. But what I was saying is about the bridge in the back. I don't know if that shows in the picture there. That bridge is already coming unglued. There's already like separation. If you stick a credit card in there, it will go in already. And it does have the two buttons here, which will kind of help delay that bridge from coming apart. But this bridge is not staying. This bridge will come off soon. I won't give it any more than 2 or 3 weeks. This bridge will come off. Maybe I prolonged the life a little bit, the lifespan, by changing the strings to nylon. Maybe that'll help a little bit, but that's just very bad news. Just very, very bad construction, very cheap wood, cheap glue, because obviously this is coming off already, and that's very cheap glue and a very flimsy job there. One last reason for a big no is just the way that it sounds and the way that its playability. Not only does it sound weak, as you heard in the beginning, it's already out of tune because the strings are new, so they're stretching. So not only is the sound weak, is the sound weak and thin, but it's also buzzy all over the place. For example, on this particular guitar, the first fret, everything buzzes. And that's really bad. Second fret's a little bit better. Third fret, it's okay. It gets a little better here. As you go up, it's okay. It buzzes right here. You'll always find buzzes on these guitars, simply because the setup is not good, the wood is warping, it's moving, the bridge is pulling off, and that causes all kinds of problems. So just, it won't really work, it won't really sound good. And even if the buzz wasn't there, so if you want to play a C chord, for example, that buzz is it's not something you can live with. A minor, that note is just going to get you every time. D minor, yeah, it just won't work, let alone if you want to play a scale. Yeah, so just the sound quality and the playability of it is less than desirable. It's just not good. So just a short video on this today. If you come across anything like this and you want to buy it for a decoration or for a toy, yes, go ahead, spend the $38. If you buy it for any kind of musical purpose, I would say absolutely not. I guess if you really want to try a good seller with a good return policy, you can ask them how many guitars can I return until I get a working one and see what they say. Just let them know that if there's any issue that you will return it. I guess you could find a guitar this cheap that will work. But again, even if this guitar did not buzz, the sound is still very faint. Very faint. I can barely hear it. I'm sorry it's out of tune, but and I can't even dig in because as soon as I dig in, it buzzes. And if you were to strum this, I mean, it just refuses to respond. So anyways, that's my short video on buying an inexpensive guitar in the $30, $40 range on Amazon, eBay, wherever you would find it. I would say a big no and a cautious, very cautious yes if the seller has good feedback and they have a good return policy. Well, thanks for watching and see you in the next video. Bye.